Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Alyssa and I build Lego sets. So every week on my Instagram story, I post polls and let you guys vote on which Lego set I'll be building next. So this time it's been between Venom and Wolverine claws, and this week by far the Venom has won, so we're gonna start off with that one. So a little bit about this set. This is set number 76187. It has 567 pieces in it. It's going to be in 3 different parts. It came out in April of 2021, so it's now like what, 3 years old now since we're in 2024? So I've actually never seen any of the Venom movies. I think there's more than one. I'm not completely sure, but I think there's more than one. So yeah, I haven't seen any of them. But I know that Venom is kind of part of Marvel-ish, and then also part of like the Spider-Man universe. So I thought that in this video I would talk a little bit about like Spider-Man, and then also I have to finish with Animal Kingdom for my trip. So I do like that Tom Hardy is Venom. I like Tom Hardy as an actor. He also plays in like Batman and in Peaky Blinders, which I really love that TV show too. But other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about Venom. But I do know a little bit about Spider-Man. So in March of 2022, when COVID kind of really hit and everything was kind of like starting to shut down, I had to stop working because restaurants were closing. I basically watched a bunch of movies and drank a lot. So I watched all of Spider-Man. I watched all of like the Marvel movies, at least the ones that were on Disney+. And so that's when I sat down and finally watched all the Spider-Man movies. Well, I didn't watch all of them. I guess I just watched the new ones with like Tom Holland in it. And they're not bad. I mean, Spider-Man's definitely not my favorite out of all Marvel, but and then when I think it was Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man, it was like Spider-Man and the Multiverse or something like that, when that one came out, I did watch that one, but I felt like the whole movie was so, like, it didn't need to happen, I guess. Because like in the beginning, you know, Doctor Strange wanted to do that spell with Spider-Man, but he didn't want to do the spell because it would make MJ forget about him. And then they go through the whole movie, everything like that, all these people die, and he does it anyways. So like, what was the point? Like, it just happened anyways. So that to me was a little dumb, but I do like how they linked all of the other Spider-Mans together. And then I love Zendaya. She was definitely my favorite part of the whole movie. So in Disney California Adventure, there's that Spider-Man ride, and I've done it once before, and I don't think I'm ever gonna actually do it again. It kind of sucked, and it's always such a long line, and I'm not gonna wait for that one. Like, I did it when it first came out, and I think that is the last time I will do it too. I have seen the Spider-Man show in California Adventure, and that's pretty cool how he like flies through the sky, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen all of the Spider-Man movies, just the ones that I was able to watch during COVID. So like the other actors, I guess, I haven't seen their movies, except for like when they were in the Spider-Man the Multiverse one. I think it makes it a little confusing with all of like, there's so much with Spider-Man right now with like the animated and all these different characters or different actors that are playing Spider-Man, and it's just kind of a lot. I guess maybe that's why I haven't really paid too much attention to Spider-Man. I would like to watch Venom. I just kind of haven't been able to, I guess. But I thought that the Lego set was really cool, so that's why I'm still making it. So the last set I made with almost 600 pieces was that Haunted Mansion one, and oh my gosh, I am so glad these are not teeny tiny pieces anymore, because that one sucked to make. It was so cute at the end, but man, my fingers were hurting, so this is gonna be nice, not make a teeny tiny one this time. we're done with part 1. Not too bad for the first one. Of course, this set doesn't have any minifigures. I feel like every set I've made so far has had at least one minifigure in it. So going off of what I've been doing, so I have one more park to talk about, which is Animal Kingdom. A lot of people say Animal Kingdom is a half-day park, but I do not agree at all. I feel like there's still quite a bit to do, and you couldn't do it all in half a day, especially with how long the lines get and everything. Animal Kingdom obviously has all of the animals and the safari and everything like that. I actually didn't end up going on the safari this trip. The line was always so long, and I had extra, I called them like excursions, that I did this time that were new to me. And that involved, you know, going on the safari and getting like a backside look at everything. So one of them was a nighttime safari at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So after the park closes, go on one of the buses to the lodge, the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and someday I hope to stay at this hotel, because basically your window view outside your hotel is of the safari, and it's so cool to see all the animals and everything, but it's so expensive, so maybe one day I'll do that, but not now, I guess. But yeah, you have to meet there, and they take you, basically like what it says, you know, you go on a safari at night, and they give you night vision goggles. And then you just go on a tour. I think it's for like an hour and a half-ish. And they talk about the different animals. And I got to see a giraffe super up close, which was so cool. There was also some other animals there, and they were just kind of telling us about, like, you know, how they take care of them. And it's very interesting to like listen about, you know, every single animal that they have there has a special diet, every single one of them, and so they all get fed differently, and it's just really cool to listen to like them talk about all the different animals, I guess. If you ever go to Animal Kingdom, I recommend doing one of the extra excursion safari things. I think they're really worth it. So I did another one, and it was called Savor the Savannah. And for that one, they take you out on the safari again, and they have this extra dock, I guess you want to say. And you got like unlimited beer and wine, and they had like snacks and dessert and everything. Everything was so good. You can eat as much as you want and drink as much as you want of everything. You know, they take you out with a couple different people, enough to fill like one of their van things that they have. You share a table with some other people, and the group that I was in, I don't know if they were just like antisocial or whatever, but kept trying to have a conversation and like be friendly, and none of them were having it, so I guess that was kind of weird, but still had a good time. And while you're on that little like balcony, I guess you want to say, it has a view of the whole like savannah, and so you get to see all the animals while you're sitting and eating, and that's really cool. So I got to see the lions pretty close up, and they were like roaring at the time, so it was like the perfect timing. And then the giraffes got really close again, so that was really cool. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't go on the actual Kilimanjaro safari, but I did go on, it's called like Rafiki's petting zoo training, something like that. And it's like a little train you can take, and it'll take you to a different part of the safari. and you're able to pet some of the animals. So there's like some sheep and goats and pigs, and there's like a donkey, I want to say. That's also where they will do any of those like surgeries or anything like that. So there's like a building that's next to it, and you can go inside and they have all the reptiles, which are really cool to see. Also, you can do that like drawing class thing where you like draw with the instructor, and that's also inside there too. So the time before I went to Disney World, which was a year before, so 2022 January, I had done the extra excursion where you can like meet the rhinos and like you were able to touch them and stuff like that. And so when I was there, I was able to meet Dugan, just one of the rhinos. And if you ever go on to Disney Plus and watch their, like, it's like a documentary type of thing about the animals they have in Animal Kingdom, Dugan is one of the ones that's on there. And apparently Dugan died recently, last year. So that was kind of sad to hear about. There's so much more than just the safari and the animals to Animal Kingdom. They also have Mount Everest, and that one's like a roller coaster, and it is so much fun. I love that ride. It's pretty good if you've never been on it. The first day that I was in Animal Kingdom, that ride was actually closed for a lot of the day. I guess it wasn't working or something like that, but so that kind of sucked, but. Even the line you stand for Mount Everest is pretty cool. Like their queue, I guess you want to say, has a lot of like memorabilia about Bigfoot, and Everest kind of has like, it's kind of about, so obviously it's about Mount Everest and like finding Bigfoot in Mount Everest. And apparently Dugan died recently, last year. So that was kind of sad to hear about. There's so much more than just the safari and the animals to Animal Kingdom. They also have Mount Everest, and that one's like a roller coaster, and it is so much fun. I love that ride. It's pretty good if you've never been on it. The first day that I was in Animal Kingdom, that ride was actually closed for a lot of the day. I don't know why, maybe they're doing like, I guess it wasn't working or something like that, so that kind of sucked, but. Even the line you stand for Mount Everest is pretty cool. Like their queue, I guess you want to say, has a lot of like memorabilia about Bigfoot, and Everest kind of has like, it's kind of about, so obviously it's about Mount Everest and like finding Bigfoot in Mount Everest. They also have something, so I don't know why they started doing this, but I've heard it was like a cheer thing. So there's a part of the ride where you kind of stop, and apparently everyone throws like their hair ties in the side, and I guess every day they go through and clean up the hair ties, and every day more people throw them in there. I call it the hair tie graveyard, but I've heard that it's like a cheer competition thing where they go on that ride before their competition and throw their hair tie as like good luck, but I guess other people now do it too, and it's just become like this big whole thing, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And they also have something called Dino Land, and that's a little more of like a little kiddie type of stuff. But I do like their dinosaur ride that they have there. It reminds me, well, it basically is the same concept as Indiana Jones, where you're kind of in that little like buggy type of thing, and you're looking for a certain dinosaur to bring back, and everything's in the dark, and you keep jolting around, and I really like that ride. And next to it, they also have some sort of like Finding Nemo show thing. I've never been in it, and I feel like I'm gonna try to do it next time. I have a feeling, I mean, I know it's Pretty Little Kitty, but I kind of like to do everything at least once. And then they have, of course, it's, you know, the Tree of Life. And that is so cool to see how they incorporated all of these different animals in making this tree, and how it gets all lit up at night. And they also do this macaw show type of thing every once in a while, where these macaws fly through the park. And there was one day, and when I got there, I was kind of standing by the bridge, or one of the bridges they have over there, over the water, and all of a sudden, the macaws just kind of went straight right next to me. It was so cool to see all of them fly through. And there we go, got the back of that. That was kind of cool. I also have the Bugs Life show. So it's the same one that's in Disneyland, but it's kind of like inside of the Tree of Life. That show is, of course, always a classic. Always have to do that. And then, the best for last, they also have that new Avatar land, and it is so cool to walk around, and has one of the best rides. The ride is called Flight of Passage. When I went to Disney World for the first time a couple years ago in 2021, I knew that that ride was super popular and a lot of people really liked it, but I tried so hard not to see any spoilers of what it was going to be or anything like that, because I wanted to experience myself for the first time. And it was such an amazing ride. Like, unless you actually go on and do it, there's no way to describe how great of a ride that one is. It reminds me a little bit of Soarin' Over California, or Soarin' Over the World, whichever one you want to call it. The concept is basically you're on the back of a banshee and you're linked to them, and they take you around on this ride through Pandora, basically. And just all the beautiful scenery and everything, the music splashes you in the face when you go by water. It's such a great ride. And then they have another ride in Pandora that is very similar to the Pirates ride. You're basically like on a boat, and it takes you through Pandora, and they sing and dance, and you get to watch everything, and that one's cool. It's just always too long for me to go on it because it's not a very long ride. The ride definitely needs to be at least a little bit longer. I feel like it's so short and it doesn't really show that much. Alright, we are done with part 2. It's looking so cool. We just have one more to go, which isn't too bad. So, something about Animal Kingdom that sucks. Well, I guess there's two main things that kind of suck at Animal Kingdom. So one of them is that Animal Kingdom closes so early. So it closes at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock depending on the day. So that kind of sucks, but another thing that kind of sucks about Animal Kingdom is that they don't really have a whole lot of sit-down restaurants. They have quite a few like quick service things, but I feel like the quick service just doesn't taste that great anywhere in Disney World. So my favorite place to eat there is the Yak and Yeti, and they have some pretty good, delicious food. It is a Landry's company, so it's like a third-party type of thing, I guess. So I actually used to work at a Landry's company. I used to work at Bubba Gump's. So yeah, I was a server at Bubba's for 2 years, and then before that I was a server at a different restaurant for about like 4 years, I want to say. So I worked in restaurants for a majority of my like working career, I guess. So I've been actually kind of thinking of maybe making a video or two about like being a server and just like things like that about it. If that's something you guys would be interested in, please let me know, because I have a lot to talk about, I guess, about being a server and working in a restaurant, stuff like that, and things you wouldn't really think about, so yeah, it might be kind of fun. But yeah, so Bubba Gump's is also a Landry's company. There's quite a few different restaurants and things like that that are part of Landry's, but so they have the Yak and Yeti inside the park, and then they also have the Rainforest Cafe that's outside of the entrance, so it's basically like right after security before you get into the park. I mean, the Rainforest Cafe is okay. Like, I feel like everything with that company is a little bit overpriced just because it is, you know, it's in Disney, it's a Landry's. And then, so that's one of the restaurants, or I guess two of the restaurants that they have. And then they have one that is on your way to like Pandora. And that one is just, it's kind of like food from around the world. Like when they were doing research for the park and everything, this was basically like the food that they ate while they were doing all that kind of research. And so it's a little bit more of like foreign type of food, and it's okay. I don't typically go there anymore because I'm not the hugest fan of it, I guess. But and then they have something called the Tusker House, and that one is a little kitty buffet place that the characters walk around and sing songs, and it's not for me. So basically, I usually just go to the Yak and Yeti at least like once during the time I'm in that park. And then when I go home, I usually like DoorDash Chick-fil-A or something. I feel like that's a little cheaper too, because everything in the park is pretty expensive. I've had a couple quick service things, but everything that I try that's like more of the quick service is typically not as good. There's only one place that I feel like it's pretty good, and that is in Hollywood Studios. It's the ABC something. And they have like this chicken sandwich with guacamole and bacon, and oh, it's so good. That's the only thing I found really that's like quick service that's not too bad. Alright, we are finally done with this one. It turned out so cool. Not too long. There we go. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys next week.